Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Hermitcraft Season 6. Today we're starting things off in the base, and I'm taking a good look at how this looks, because I reckon by the time this video comes out to you guys, it is already updated to 1.14. I think Minecraft would have been updated to 1.14, but we're still in 1.13.2, at least in the beginning of this video, and we have a lot of things to do before the server updates. But the very first thing I want to work on today is a new map. I know that sounds absolutely crazy, because making one of these poster maps is like a process of at least 8 to 10 hours. And I made this one only to find out that our marketing manager didn't really like it. And I gotta say, like, it's cool, but he's right. I mean, next to Concorp's one, this doesn't look great at all. Luckily, we did clear out that snow area, or we did get this canvas ready for another map. And I've actually, in between episodes, come up with something that I think is gonna shock Grian, and that I think he's gonna be very happy with. But in order to even get started at this, I need a lot of resources, because that last map meant that I was drained of all of my gravel. This is all the gravel that me and Stress have left in the base, which is really bad. So I need to go out and hunt some gravel, and I've actually done some calculations. And for the new logo that I want to create, I need 74 stacks of concrete powder. 74 stacks, that's crazy. I mean, it's actually not that crazy, because it's only really 3.5 shulker boxes full. It's still pretty crazy, but I think what I'm gonna do is, however many this is, 10, 9, maybe I do 10. I want to go and collect 10 shulker boxes full of gravel. And to do that, I'm gonna need a bunch of shovels. I only have like 3 silk touch shovels, so I'll make up some more. Shovel 1, shovel 2, shovel 3. And I was slain by a zombie pigman. What? What the heck? I didn't have my armor on. I forgot my iron box, so I couldn't enchant the last... Oh, for goodness sake. I wonder if I'm gonna be able to get my stuff back, because... It's probably a... Oh, this really stinks. I'm being so unlucky here on the Hermitcraft server. I was literally just trying to make it down from the altar, and the pigman just two-shotted me. And I'm thinking that place is probably throwing away non-stackable items. Like, there's probably a non-stackable item filter. So if pigman picked... Ah, this is bad. Okay. So the one shulker box that I placed down up at the gold farm was my tool box. I'm being so unlucky. So I had to go all the way back from Sahara. I had to walk all the way back to the glacier base to get another elytra, because I have some at the base. And, oh, for goodness sake, please don't be AFK at the gold farm, Impulse, because it's been about 14 minutes and my items would most certainly have despawned. Some items. Okay. Okay, that's looking good. I was literally just standing here and I died from pigmen. That's really, really weird. And now I guess I have to get some more levels. I think I got everything though back. I seem to have lost my hat. And I only realized that now. It's been a little while here. Despite of the trauma of losing my hat and being extremely unlucky, this should give me the last 2 shovels that I was working on. So that, and then silky. And I have enough levels. Yes! Okay, so now I have made 5 new shovels. That was effort. That was effort right there. Now I was gonna do a fancy time lapse of me collecting all of the gravel, but as I've been enjoying streaming so much lately, I decided to stream the event instead, and this is actually the next day, and as you can see, I did collect all of the gravel. This is actually much less than I collected. I think in total I collected 10 full shulker boxes, so you know what, I could probably merge these together a little bit. That's better. But it didn't stop there. I decided to build the whole logo in the one stream, and I am so excited to show you guys this. And just before I do, I want to say a big thank you to everybody who submitted their own submissions of the Sahara logo on my Twitter. I mean, there must have been at least... I don't even know, but there must have been at least 100 different submissions, and some of them was really, really good. But here is the one that I came up with that I then built in the stream. Oh my goodness. That is just so good. I really, really, really like it. And next to this one, it's such an improvement. It is such an improvement. The big test isn't to put it next to the Sahara old one. The big test is to put it next to the beautiful combat one. And I gotta say, that is comparable. I didn't think I could do it, but I think that is definitely comparable. I like that they are very different. It really stands out who is who. And they are definitely on the same sort of level, I feel at least. Hello! I'm trying to find Grian because of course he would need to approve it, but it looks like he's AFK. And I have no idea where he is. I guess what we will do is leave it here for him to see. And we'll see if we'll see what he says. I cannot wait to see his reaction to it. I think that he's gonna be very pleased. And let's also leave him a few copies here so that he can use them for the marketing campaign. But all in all, I gotta say, I am so pleased with this. I am so very pleased with this design. I think this definitely fits the whole Sahara venue, the whole Sahara business, the whole plaza, the park, everything. I mean, this is also very good because you can basically put it anywhere and it doesn't look out of place. It looks like it belongs. With the logo being done, I feel like we're going to move on to the next project here on the Hermitcraft server. And that is going to be to do a little bit of prep work in preparations for the update. And as I said in the beginning of this episode, by the time you're watching the video, 1.14 is most certainly already out there, and it's already something that people are playing and trying out, but we haven't updated at the moment, or at this moment in time, and that gives me a little bit of time to exploit the old villagers. We have this ETM machine where we can trade all the different crops, and they are all right next to us here, with Bob here, or Tim, I can't remember what we named him. So what I need to do, because I'm completely out of emeralds at the moment, is that I need to use all of my pumpkins, all of my melons, all of these things to get as much emeralds as possible, and then I want to buy a ton of books. And I actually started this process already, and here is what I have. So far I got a double chest of mending books, and actually I think there's one book in here. I think I'm gonna get 2 double chests of mending, and then I got a double chest of unbreaking minus 2 books. That's as far as I've got so far, but I want to get a big stock of emeralds, and I don't know if I'd necessarily need to buy so many more books, because we are still going to be able to trade these books with the villagers here. We're just not going to be able to trade them in bulk. So what that means is I should probably stack up on Silk Touch. That would probably be a good thing. And like I said, mending, which I have, I should probably get some more mending books. But first things first, I need to get a ton of emeralds, because this process of just spamming this villager with all the different crops is definitely going to change in 1.14. And at the moment, I don't really know how we're going to do this, but we're probably going to have to rebuild the entire ETM at some point. And with 2 hours of trading, the ETM is actually looking pretty empty. Do I know? Nope, not yet. The ETM is actually looking pretty empty because we are out of potatoes, carrots, and melon. I mean, it's been pretty crazy. We're out of those things. We still have a few pumpkins. And I guess, I mean, the one of the flaw with the ETM here has been that the storage that I allowed for every crop was only like 14 shulker boxes. So for something like melons that you have to compact together, that's not a lot of melons, to be honest. It's not a lot of melons. But here are the emeralds that I've managed to get in 2 hours time. Quite a bit, actually. Now, I've been thinking a lot about how the best way to go about this is, and honestly, I think that keeping the things in emerald form is going to be, for the most part, what I want to do. And the only book, there's only really one book. So I got a double chest of Unbreaking 3. I need 2 more books. I guess I should buy that. 1, 2, nice. But there's only really one book that I feel like we would benefit of having loads and loads of, because all of these other books, I mean, it's not like they're gonna disappear. Like I said, if ever I need a Silk Touch book, it's usually not so that I need 40. Except for when I made the ice picks for the ice farm, then I needed a lot of them. There's something oddly satisfying about trading a lot of books with these guys. I'm really gonna miss this system. Hopefully that is actually 1 stack of blocks. Hopefully that's enough. Oh, that is satisfying. And don't get me wrong, like, we are going to be able to trade in 1.14. I keep saying that it's going to be a game breaker. It's not really going to be a game breaker. It's going to be a game changer. And I'm actually very excited about changing up some of the things to rebuild an ETM that works better for 1.14. Another thing that I've thought about is the God machine right over here. Because in 1.14 you get to choose the profession of the villagers, this machine is going to become completely abundant. But we may still be able to have this sort of setup, but instead of having a red and green button, we would have buttons for workstations being placed or being pushed into the world so that the villager chooses their profession. I mean, I'm really excited about trying to build something new for that. That's probably going to be one of my first projects that I want to do, and I should really clean up all of these excess shulker boxes that are just chilling here. So with the preparation being done and the new logo for Sahara being something that we have completed, I feel like we can move on to something else. And I am not happy at the moment with our base. I'm not really even happy with where it's going. We've gone away a little bit from this nice thing that we started with into this very squarey style, which I'm not a super big fan of. That being said, I think the very first thing I should do, and the big thing that it's time for now, is to take down the worm. I think the worm has done its things. Like, it's completed. It's time for you to go, worm. And I thought this would work very well in a third-person time-lapse. So during this time-lapse, I wanted to speak to you guys quickly about 1.14. Namely, a question that I've got asked so many times that I can't even count in the past week or so. A lot of people are really curious to find out what I think about 1.14 as a whole. And I gotta be honest, I'm not overly excited about the 1.14 changes or news, because to me, like, the village and pillage stuff is mostly explorational, and I'm not really super into that kind of stuff in Minecraft. I would have loved to see some new building blocks, and yeah, I know we get the walls and the stairs and the slabs and all that for the stone blocks, which is great. That's a fantastic change, but I would have loved to see that for concrete and terracotta so that we could build like colorful things with slabs and stairs, etc. Overall, I mean, I'm really excited, but I think the biggest excitement for me is the TNT, where you can now build auto miners and stuff like that. And also, I'm really excited to see how our world, or what happens with our world now that we update, because we've never really done this before. We usually reset, so it's going to be a lot of fun to sort of go back to some of the farms, etc., and fix them for 1.14, because a lot of things are going to change in that regards. Anyway, back to the server. And it's all gone. And I gotta say, I'm a little bit nostalgically sad, but at the same time, this entire place looks so much better just without that worm. The one thing that I remember the most from this worm was when someone drew fan art of me and Mumbo around this worm, like a little comic. It was absolutely great, and because of that reason I pretty much kept it for a long time. I do see that there's dye right there, and it seems to be glitching through the different rendering here at the moment. Not sure why that is. It's a little bit annoying. I may have to eventually raise up the fog effect. I think I have 5 layers here. I may have to go with 6. But anyway, with that being done, I also spent a few hours trying to get this place to look a little bit better. And what I did was that I linked up the slime compactor with the base through this tunnel here. And if we can just get up in the air, we are alone on the server at the moment because it's early morning, and I'm very happy because I can fly. But yeah, I linked this up together, and I think that tunnel looks pretty cool like that. It's a little bit weird. And then I raised up the sides of this, which for me that fixed a lot of it. It was way too square. It looked a lot like a dog, and I didn't really like that. One of the things I was thinking about was to add ice creeping up on these tunnels, because it would make sense, I suppose, that things would have frozen over and stuff. I just gotta be sure or be careful that I don't make it so that the ice melts. And this is actually a little bit tricky, because with the way I've decided to design mob-proof this base, I can't leave a spot like that. I wonder if mobs would spawn if I would have a glass pane like that. Because glass panes can definitely work and look a little bit like icicles if placed in the right area. Like over there, it's completely fine, I think. That is looking pretty cool. I mean, if we in addition continue with this and not have everything this flat, this would remove the squareness of the base, I think. So we could have small little icebergs or whatever. It's not really, not really an iceberg. We could have small little things like this going around, as long as we make sure to keep the non-spawnable ice, the regular ice, as the top block. Yeah! My goodness, that does so much to the place. That does so much. And I just realized another block I can use is snow. I could totally use the double snow slabs trick to block spawn rates, in case I can't place ice and I want ice near the tunnels. But I think this does a lot to it. I'd be curious to see what you guys think down below in the comments, if this is the sort of thing we need to do in order to make this place not feel so squared. With that idea presented to you guys, I will be looking out in the comments to see what you guys feel about it. Now, with that idea being presented, I'll be keen to see what you guys say about it in the comments. But I want to continue here. I want to do a little bit more base focus in this episode, because this area here where we have our really cool Keycard Sorter, I never actually designed, and I really want to get this to look good. And also, apparently this design here made me become a T-Series supporter. Listen, subscribe to PewDiePie, okay? It's important that he wins back the race. I think he's falling behind at the moment. I'm not a T-Series supporter. Also subscribe to iskall85, who's a fellow Swede. But the main focus I want to do down here is not get rid of the T necessarily. I think it looks pretty cool, you know. I do want to design this thing here though. So a few tricky things is that one, yeah, this thing is a little bit tricky. That we need a block right here, and we need access to both of these slots. Or no, we need access to that slot. We also need a block here, and that is what stops the minecart when it comes back down. So if you don't remember, let me refresh your memory. If I would want to get some ender pearls, for example, I throw the ender pearl keycard in, and the system sorts through and sends me a minecart with ender pearls. Absolutely brilliant. Oh my goodness, this is actually, oh, this is great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. How have I not seen that? There's a huge difference in the size of this room. So that means I don't actually have to have anything here. I can with ease pull this thing back, and I wonder if I should pull it back all the way to the 4 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, so that we would have the frame of this thing coming already there. I mean, it would make the room symmetrical. I think I'm gonna start there. So I got this far and made a little tunnel, and we have a chest over here where I'm gonna put the cactuses, because whenever we take something out, we need to fill the chest back in. So we need to have cactuses there. We can also put temporary stuff there. But I'm really struggling with making this look good, because obviously we got this chest here and it's too wide. I think what I'm gonna do is, and this is gonna be scary by the way, I think I'm going to make it a single chest, but I have to do a little bit of a test first. Here's the test. So if we have a chest like this and we have items in the top slot, if I break the left chest, they pop out. That's what I thought. But if we have items in the bottom half of the chest and I break the left, they do not pop out. Okay, good. Very good. So we should be able to do this, because if I have all of the keycards spill out, the whole system will break. I move these down to here and now break this chest. Ah, we're all good, but it fell into the system, for goodness sake. What about having a little bit of a window into the actual redstone? I think that's pretty cool, although I should probably design the back of that at some point. But having end rods like that is actually really cool. Yeah, I like that. I don't know if I broke this system as I designed it though, so I probably should try that out. But one other thing I think I will do here is remove these blocks here. And I broke it again. Okay, remove these blocks here and then add quartz, because we have quartz as the floor. And that just makes it look a little bit more natural, I think. And let's try this again. So lava key code goes in and... Yes! Okay. It is still working. Oh, that's a relief. That's a relief. Yeah, I think this looks pretty good. Apart from maybe... Oh, I messed up here. Apart from a few more bits where I think I should change this out. Keep it consistent. And some finishing touches to make it match the rest. We're gonna have an iskall ring around this. We have to get used to now that 1.14 is released. Hermitcraft is going to update today or tomorrow when this video goes out, any of these days anyway. We have to start adjusting and realizing the fact that we can no longer do our necromancy grids, which are super cool. Again, I keep stressing that I'm so sad that this feature is removed in the next version of Minecraft, but we can at least continue to use iskall, and I think that looks really, really cool. It looks very, very, very trippy, to be honest. It looks very trippy. But I like that. I really like that. But with all of that done, I'm very, very happy with today. We started off by doing the new Sahara logo, and to be honest, I'm super, super, super nervous to hear what Grian says. I mean, I hope he really likes it, because a lot of time and effort went into that logo, and I think personally it turned out absolutely beautiful. But I've left it over at the marketing room for him to see, and yeah, like I said, hopefully he will just fall in love with it as much as I've fallen in love with it. And I also want to say a big and a huge thank you to all of you. A big and a huge thank you. That's a massive thank you to all of you for your submissions of the Sahara poster or a Sahara logo. I may very well go ahead in the future and build more of these maps sort of as PR campaigns. There are a few, or quite a few that I really like that you guys have submitted. So yeah, maybe stay tuned for that, and maybe we'll do that in the future. I also feel that we did the 1.13 preparations, and as you can see during this episode, which has been recorded over the course of like 4 days now, the ETM is starting to fill up again. So I'll probably do a little bit more trading, because the next time you see a Hermitcraft episode from me, it's going to be 1.14, and this thing here is going to completely change. And there are a few farms that we have to fix. For example, the carrot and potato farm. I already have a fix for that in mind. The village breeder is going to have to be fixed and made a little bit different, because the god machine is no longer needed in the new version of Minecraft. However, we can redo this into a 1.14 machine where we can basically set the profession of the villagers. It's a super cool system that I think Nembum put a video out about, a little showcase video. And yeah, so we got a lot of stuff to do, and I'm really excited for this coming update to see how our world adapts to it. But anyway, that's gonna do it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed, and if you did, do hit the like button down below. Consider subscribing if you're brand new, and I'll see you dudes in the next episode.